Hey, this is UneX Designs over here, and since 2012 came up, I've decided to make a new project file for you to download. So let's see what we've got in this project file. Here you go. This is the project window. In here you will find where to put your logo. So logo here, composition. Let's input our logo in here. So double click on the project panel and import your logo. Here we go. Now you will see that there's a layer that says put your logo inside the square, and that square is the guides. So let's make that smaller. Here we go. Let's turn the logo underneath off. Okay. Now that, let's go to main composition, and in here you can change a lot of stuff. So first you have these two first layers that says keep the subtext layer turned off, and a notifier that a shy switch is enabled. Shy switch is right here. It basically hides the layers that you want to be hidden. So let's see how our logo looks. Now I have to point out that there is a layer, the sixth layer, called Furnish. This is sharpen, fast blur, and grain. Turn that off to customize your project file a little bit faster, and then when you are ready to render, turn that back on and render. Now if you move a little bit to the forward, now you see that we've got a little bit of a problem. Our subtext is overlapping the logo, and that's not good. So you can see that there is these three null objects. The first one controls the scale and position of the both the logo and the subtext. The subtext controls the scale and position for the subtext, and the logo controls the scale and position of the logo. So I think we need to move the subtext. So let's select the scale position control for the subtext layer and press P to reveal the position. Now these values mean X, X-axis, and Y-axis. Now you can see that the default value is a little bit bigger than 0, which is the center of the composition. So let's modify the Y-axis a little bit to put it below our logo, and that's pretty good. I think I want to change the text, the subtext. So if you want to change the subtext, the 10th layer, the orange coded 10th layer, is the layer you want to modify. Note that this layer should be turned off. You see that turn off is notified. So take your type tool, select all of the text, and put your own, like something like that. And yeah, pretty good. Now if, let's say, you have a very small one, subtext like UneX, and just this, you can see that the splitters in here they are a little bit too long. So what we're gonna do is uncheck the shy layer switch, and you can see that the splitter 1 and the splitter 2 layer is the splitters that we want to modify. So select both of those, press MM, and this will reveal the mask properties for the splitters. And let's set the max expansion rate. Now the value of -313 looks like a right value. So -313 for the other one, and here we go. You have the what you needed there. Anyway, so what else there is to change? The background. So open the background layer. You can see that 4 color gradients is applied to it. Now You can put your own colors, but what I like to do is put a hue and saturation effect on it, and then I set the lightness down like so. But you know what, I think I'm gonna change the colors manually, so I'm gonna change the colors to black, basically a black background. So the 0.1 color should be the brightest point, and the all others should be darker and exactly the same. Now you can see that there's a little bit of color banding over here. You probably won't see it in this video, but there's a reason. There's the 6th layer. So when you turn that on, you can see that there's no longer the color banding. So once again, turn that off, you can see the color banding, and turn that on, you can see the color, you can't see the color banding. Now generally you need to turn that off if you are working, but when you're ready to render, turn that back on. So we've changed our background, we changed our logo. Oh, the circle. So you can see that the circle is basically the main part of the project file. Now the black on black doesn't really look good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna open the circle composition, and in that composition we open the circle change color with neither composition, and you can see that there's a different layer called color control. So you select that color control and basically change the color that you want. I'm gonna make it pure white, and you will see that it is shaded a little bit, and that's mainly what you want. If you yeah, so yep, now you can see that there's a third-party plugin applied to this layer, and this plugin is called VC Reflect. Now this VC Reflect is making the reflection right here. Now what you would want to do is modify the opacity. So the default value of my project file is 95, so you can change that to 10 maybe. So if you want a little bit something a little bit more subtle, or you can set that to 95 but set that 10 to black. So what it does, it makes this kind of a shadow illusion. Now this is a little bit too strong, so what we're gonna do is set the opacity to 50, and here we go. No, not to 50, 30 maybe. Yeah, looks good. Okay, now click me. This is the button text over here. Now you can modify that, so let's do it. But note that you can see that for the layer there is a comment. If you want to edit this, don't forget the source text keyframes. Change the text on the first keyframe and on the second one if needed. So select your click me layer, the 14th layer, press U to reveal the source text keyframes. Now set your current time indicator on the first keyframe and input your text. So let's say cookies, and the other text, let's go to the second keyframe and let's type something smart like gone maybe, and yeah, so we've got our modified text. Okay, now you probably won't find the color control for the button, this cookies layer, and that's basically because I think it looks better white than any other color. because then you have to change the text color, and it's gonna be a little bit of annoying to change everything. Okay, now what else we can change? We did change the subtext. Fade. Okay, now the fade. Select the fade layer, press U to reveal the keyframes. Now you can see that there's four keyframes in the back. So you can set this fade out a little bit quicker. So let's just do that, and so we can see that the fade out happens over 15 frames. And why not make the blur a little bit stronger when it's fading out? So yeah, but I don't like it. Personally, I don't like when the fade out has a very strong blur. I like something a little bit more subtle, so a value of 5 is pretty good. Well, I think we've changed everything in here. So what we need to do is now render. So enable the Furnish layer right here, go to your project panel right here, and open the render. Now you have two options for render. You can render either full HD or HD. So I'm gonna render full HD, so double click on that one. So what you can see that the main composition is put in here and the sound design is in here. So you can see that I've added a command or Control M to render. So let's do that, Control M, and you can see that there's a render queue panel popped up and render. So this is the project file. I hope you've learned something in this kind of a guide how to modify this project file. Anyways, this is UneX Designs. Thanks for watching.